What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Nikki. If you're new, this is Life with Nick. Welcome. And in today's video, I'm giving you guys an Atlanta survival guide. So just some tips on how to actually survive here when you are living in Atlanta. So I'm going to talk about that here today. But before we get into the video, if you guys have not already done so, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as turn on that notification bell so you're notified when I post. And let's go ahead and get right into the video. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys a background of my story. I have lived in Atlanta almost 3 years now. I actually moved here in June of 2019. So June of 2020 will be 3 years since I've lived in Georgia. And I've had my fair share of experiences. So I am here to give you guys the raw, honest truth about what Atlanta comes with and what you need to be prepared for when you get here. So Atlanta over the years and what I've seen and I noticed has changed a lot since I moved here is not only are the rent prices going up, but the crime rate is going up as well. So not only is it important to make sure that you are financially stable when you move here, it's actually just as important that you make sure that you are actually safe and that you have things to make sure that you are out of harm's way. So the first thing I want to talk about is rents. So when I first moved here and I was on a journey, I actually got lucky because my dad lives in Georgia. So I was able to actually stay with him and save. That being said, your savings is going to be what saves you in Atlanta. So I say in all my videos, the cost of living in Atlanta is about $1,000 and up. And that is pretty much everywhere at this point. Most of the apartments that you find are going to be about $1,000 and up a month in rent. That's just for a 1-bedroom apartment. 2 bedrooms and 3 bedrooms, they go up a little bit more than that per month. But you got to think about that. $1,000 a month comes with different fees. So you're going to have your admin fee, you're going to have application fees, all those different fees aside from rent. It is just best if you just, instead of trying to live paycheck to paycheck, instead of trying to get down here as quickly as you can, it's just important to make sure that you actually have the finances to live here, because you don't want to live here and be able to actually just afford like 1 month of rent. And then once that 1 month is up, you're getting evicted. That goes on your credit and that just looks bad on you. So it's important to just make sure that you have some kind of a savings. I'm not going to be all in your face and talk about save $7,000, $10,000, because I know that for a lot of people, that's not possible. Hell, for me, that's not possible either. But it's just important to make sure that you actually have a savings, because you will get hit with a lot of fees when you get here. And another thing is that a lot of things such as utilities and Wi-Fi and cable do not come with the apartments that live down here. So just make sure that you actually have savings, because I know what it's like to be in a financial bind and just feel like you do not have money to pay for anything or in order to survive. So just make sure that you actually have that savings account. That way you actually are able to live and actually stay here instead of coming on a 1 month vacation and then getting evicted. So that would just be my first survival tip of it all, just to make sure that you have some kind of a financial savings when you move here. And I'm, like I said, it doesn't have to be a bunch of money, just something that would just get you by for a couple of months for just in case. So number 2 on the list is going to be safety. So like I said, Atlanta has been very ghetto when it comes to safety. And I say this because I'm going to leave some pictures here. There has been things happening to my car. I literally had somebody throw an egg on my window. Somebody cut my little gas thing on my car. It's just been very ghetto. And I've heard my neighbors say the same thing, just people trying to break into their car. One of my best friends, somebody tried to break into his car. And he lives in a really nice part of Georgia as well. So it's just been a lot. It just doesn't really matter about who you know. I noticed that when you live here, things are just going to happen, unfortunately. So make sure that you have yourself out of harm's way, and make sure that you just pay close attention. And when I say that, make sure that you have cameras installed. You never know, especially when it comes to your apartments. Make sure that you actually have cameras, or you move to a complex that you know has cameras or some kind of securities, because you don't want to get put in some kind of a bind to where you cannot get out of a unsafe situation. That's like worse than being in a financial situation, being in an unsafe situation. And like I said, it does not matter where you live. You can literally live in Lenox Park. You can literally live in Buckhead, all those nice places, and still have your car possibly attempted to be broken into. And I'm not going to say that that always happens, but I've had somebody try to do it to me since I've lived here. And then I've also heard of a few of my friends who have all unfortunately experienced the same things. So I just say that's number 2 on the list. Just stay safe. Make sure that, especially if you are a woman, you have some kind of pepper spray, pocket knife, or something in your purse, because people are moving here. They know that people who live here, a lot of people do have money. So this is just the stepping stone for people to come here and rob people, basically. So that's been my little personal journey with that. So number 1 on the list, make sure you have those savings. Number 2 on the list, make sure that you are actually staying safe and out of harm's way. So number 3 on the list for financial guide is to honestly just follow your own journey when you move here to Atlanta. Don't move here and try to be like everybody is, because everybody knows that this is the place to be. There's a lot of celebrities that lives here and a lot of people that have money. That's all good and gravy, but just remember to just stay in your own lane. I know that it's really easy to get tempted by everything that goes on throughout social media. So yeah, you want to be able to have that $2,000 home or that $2,000 a month high-rise apartment or something like that. But just live in your own financial means. That is the only way that you're actually going to survive here. So if you want something better for yourself, you may just have to unfortunately get a higher paying job or maybe pick up a second job. But do not get yourself stuck in some kind of lease for like $2,000 when you don't have the money, or you know that you're not going to be able to pay that every month, because then you're going to be looking homeless while you're trying to compare yourself to somebody else who can actually afford to live in that $2,000 house. So that's going to be number 3 on my survival of Atlanta guide. Just to stay in your own lane. Do not compare yourself to anybody. And just go with whatever works for you. And that means moving to a location that you can afford. If you cannot afford to live in Buckhead right now, do not move to Buckhead. Move somewhere on the outskirts, like maybe near Decatur, or maybe near like Conyers or something like that. Maybe College Park, something that is just maybe within your budget. So that's another thing that I think is important. That's going to be number 3 on the list. Number 4 on the list is going to be actually maintaining the relationships that you have with people. And when I say that, get to know people, because Atlanta is full of scammers. Hell, the whole United States is full of scammers. If you see like people on social media are getting hacked more and more nowadays. People are getting robbed more and more every day. All that stuff is happening. And it's just important to just know the people that you are surrounding with. You don't want to get befriended by a scammer and you wake up the next morning and your credit cards are missing, or your account is at 0 when it was just at 1,400 last night. So just be careful with the company that you keep. And I'm not trying to say like don't trust people, but just don't give too much too soon. I think that goes for just anybody in the world, but especially in Georgia, it's just because look, the scammers are really up in here, and they have been for a long time. So make sure you remember that. And lastly on the list is do not fall for scams. When I say this, I say I'm going to actually tell a story about something that happened to me. So actually, when me and my boyfriend first moved here, we were looking at houses and different stuff like that. And we found this list on Zillow, this house that was on Zillow. And it was like a self-tour. So if you live in Georgia, you know that self-tours for apartments and homes, they're common. You know what I mean? It's not like that's something that just doesn't happen. So we went to this self-tour, and after the self-tour was done, the guy's instantly like, so do you want to move here? I can take your deposit today. So I'm like, what? That doesn't even make any sense. I knew in that moment it was a scam, because anybody knows that if you're looking at a mansion, like a 4-bedroom apartment or any kind of apartment or whatever it is down here, you are going to know that there's a certain process that you have to go through. You have to apply, you have to have certain qualifications and things like that. So pay attention to those kind of scams. Do not look on eBay for your homes. Look at actual certified places like maybe rent.com, Trula, apartments.com, and different things like that. Stay away from Craigslist. Stay away from scammers, and you will be fine. So I say that to all, just to break it down to this, to say, just be financially stable. Don't live outside of your means. And that just goes for wherever it is that you live, not even just in Georgia. Don't live beyond your means and comparing yourself to everybody on social media. Stay safe. Do not give your number to scammers, and you will be fine, okay? You will be fine. There is a way to survive here. I know people say that Atlanta is ghetto. Yes, it's very much ghetto, but it's also a great place to live. So hopefully I have someone out there who may be considering moving here to Georgia. If you guys have yet already done to do so, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and go ahead and turn on that notification bell. Give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.